The question I've been asked is, what's birth order? Well, let's start with this. Everybody's got a birth order. Everybody finds birth order so fascinating. You look at your family, and the first two children in the family are night and day difference. Interesting, in the business world, I speak to a lot of business groups. Your entrepreneurs are middle children in huge numbers and firstborns. Not so many babies. Babies tend to be the salespeople. They're manipulative, social, outgoing. Name a comedian, and you're talking to the baby of the family. I mean, all the old ones, Billy Crystal and Eddie Murphy and Jim Carrey and Martin Short, Chevy Chase, Steve Martin, they're all babies of the family. The father of comedy, Charlie Chaplin, baby of the family. Well, what is it about youngest children that they become such entertainers and such? Well, they look up. And in birth order, you're always looking up. So the firstborn's models are adults. The secondborn model, now he's got, or she has, not only the parents, but now the firstborn. As you go down through the birth order, there's more models. So once these roles get filled, by the time that number 3 child comes around, or 4, that baby of the family, they're going to find a way to demand attention. There's a striving for superiority. That's sort of a nutshell of what birth order is all about. Now, there's variables that affect that. Age, gap between the births of kids. So when you see a 5-year gap between the births of children, you sort of draw another family. So
a very big part of business is obviously working with people. So birth order is so important to understand people, understand yourself, understand your colleagues, and also to improve yourself. If you were born firstborn, middle child, baby child, you understand that you might have been given a lot of benefits in that, and your mind might have been rewired in certain ways or wired in certain ways, but you might have to work on certain things because of your birth order. So this really empowers people in business.
Firstborns are the ones that us parents practice on. If you're a firstborn, you're the lab rat of the family. It was hit and miss, and they fussed about everything. So as different kids come in the birth order, we lighten up. So your typical firstborns are reliable, conscientious, rule makers, rule followers. There's a right way to do things. The astronauts in outer space, the first 23, 21 firstborns, 2 only children, not a middle or a baby in sight. So firstborn sort of set the mark. I mentioned earlier, the first 2 kids in a family are night and day different in almost all families. That second child is going to be the opposite. They're going to take that different tact. And of course, parents tend to parent kids the same, which doesn't work because you have to treat kids differently. So those middle children, they get squeezed. They got the crown prince or princess above them. They got little Schnooky, the baby of the family who got away with murder beneath them. But they are negotiators, compromisers. They get along with people. They're great in middle management. They go with the flow. Only children are little adults by age 7 or 8. And they're walking around at 8 doing logarithms in their head. They're very successful people, by the way. Now, let me segue to birth order and marriage. Yes, I married the firstborn. My pet name for her is Mrs. Uppington. And let me tell you publicly, the woman needs me. She needs me because anything she does has to be done just so. If you were coming to our home for dinner on Saturday, Thursday, the dinner would start, being has to be made from scratch. She's just too much. And I say to you, honestly, she needs me because I help lighten her up. But here's the beauty of it all. The firstborn, Mrs. Uppington, and the baby cub, that was my nickname as a kid. I was a little cub. That's a pretty good match because I need her to help straighten me up. You balance your things off in your birth orders. Marry a middle child, everybody. They go with everybody. They're like going to the universal blood bank and finding the universal donor. They roll with the punches. Well, they never had mom and dad to themselves. And so middles go with onlys and firstborns and babies, pretty good match. Their best matches are firstborn and baby and only and baby. Those are extremes. I've done therapy with people behind closed doors for over 40 years. And you'd hear, well, he's so different than I am. She's so different. Well, I hope so. If you're both the same, quite frankly, there's no need for one of you in the marriage. So it's the differences that make us a couple. And I think that's where you help come around each other. I can speak too quickly where she'll really think about what she says before she engages her mouth. I don't always do that. But she's really been good about helping me, take it easy. It's okay. And like I say, I help her lighten up because she gets a little too uptight about ordinary things in life. You learn to get behind each other's eyes. And you have to think. I have to think like the firstborn. And so taking a look at where you came from, taking time to really understand, birth order is not the answer all, but it does give us a handle. My friend Gary Chapman wrote The 5 Love Languages, and I think the 5 Love Languages and the birth order book have a lot in common because it gives us a handle on how to get behind somebody else's eyes and see how they see life.